can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good. Memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby.
quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed. I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up. I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shorty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my putting. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, yo, bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Trying to stack my money up, cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
You got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it, now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
Too cold, standing in the middle of the downpour. Looking in the mirror 'cause it's only you.
City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions. City FC are champions. Series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football. Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for another Matchday Live. We are back, and today Manchester City are at home in the Emirates FA Cup against Huddersfield. That is the team Manchester City take on in the FA Cup. Excited to see what happens today. If Manchester City are to come away with 3 points, are Manchester City going to win? 3 points doesn't matter like it usually would in the Premier League. FA Cup is just about going through to the next round. And Huddersfield are a side, they're not doing amazingly in the Championship. Manchester City, I think, will come away with a win here today. You guys are voting in the comments, not for the winning today, but if we see Kevin De Bruyne back on the pitch, will he return? 80% of you guys believe that De Bruyne will get some game time. Mr. Lion says, I don't think De Bruyne will come on unless it's the last 80 minutes or 20 minutes. You mean the last 20 minutes, I understand. Just a bit of football for KDB. Happy New Year, everyone, says MK. Happy New Year to everyone here on the We Are City channel. Yep, thank you to everyone who's subscribed, who's joining us, who's always with us. Lisa says it's going to be a 4-0 to Manchester City. Well, I hope for a lot of goals today. We'll run through the Manchester City side, starting with Julian Alvarez, who starts up top. The front three, he is joined by Jack Grealish and Oscar Bob. Phil Foden, Rico Lewis and Mateo Kovacic in the midfield three. Sergio Gomez, Joško Vardiol, Captain Ruben Diaz, and Manu Akanji in the back four. In goal starts Stefan Ortega. On the bench of Manchester City today, we've got Edison, Walker, Ake, Doku is back, he returns. Roderick, Kevin De Bruyne returns as well. Matheus Nunes. We also have Micah Hamilton, and also I've got Bob on the bench there. I forgot to change it. He's actually young Jacob Wright on the bench for Manchester City. I don't exactly know what number Wright is. I probably should have a check of that one, because Jacob Wright is a young 18-year-old midfielder. Apparently he's been with City since the under-5s. That is how long he has been with Manchester City, the young midfielder. Under 5, so that is a very long time with Manchester City. He wears the number 56 shirt, so it's Jacob Wright. I'll just update that on the graphics for you. But yeah, so Jacob Wright in that Manchester City side, on the bench anyway. And I don't think we'll see him come on, but you never know. If City are 4 or 5-0 up, Pep Guardiola might give him his debut, which would be good to see, and I think deserved, maybe a young player coming through, give him his chance if he can do. The game today, if you are in the UK, I believe you can watch it on BBC Sport, but you have to. Yeah, I don't know exactly if it's on iPlayer. It might be on iPlayer as well. It seems to be a little bit difficult to find this one. If not, you can't watch this game, then you can listen to me instead. I'm sure you guys are happy to listen to me instead as well. So Manchester City versus Huddersfield today. A big FA Cup game. There's been some ties. I haven't actually seen any of the ties this so far. In this round. Andrew says he's going to go with a 4-0 win as well. I think it should be a big win for Manchester City, really, shouldn't it? I think a lot of people are expecting a big win. But City just come out today and try and win. The Huddersfield manager is Darren Moore. Darren Moore, actually, I think he used to manage West Brom in the Premier League. He's managed quite a few times and few different teams. He's never really been so successful. Huddersfield, who was saved from relegation last year by Neil Warnock, who is a classic football manager, one who has been around for a very long time. He left and Darren Moore came in charge of Huddersfield. Whether Darren Moore's going to do a top job or not, Huddersfield don't know. I'll actually see where they are in the Championship table, because I don't think they're particularly high up, Huddersfield. I think they're in sort of a relegation battle, really, if we're honest. And they're in 21st place out of 24, so they are in a relegation battle. Huddersfield's only aim is to try and stay in the Championship this season. The FA Cup would just be a little bit extra, that I don't think they're concentrating on. I mean, their last 5 fixtures, the last game was a draw, and they've got 3 losses and 1 win. So they're not in amazing form themselves, Huddersfield. Apparently they're suffering from quite a few injuries as well. I was listening to a podcast with some Huddersfield fans before this one, just to get a bit of an insight into where Huddersfield are. They've got a lot of injuries as well at Huddersfield, so that sort of shows the sort of situation they are in. Nice sunny day, I think, in Manchester, it seems. It won't be warm, though, about 5 degrees, I'm sure, in Manchester. Sat in the stands there, you can see the fans as they get ready for today's game, which is about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Huddersfield size on the screen as well. They're wearing, I think, I expect them to wear a green kit today. And they're going with a 4-5-1 or a 4-3-3. I think we should have had more academy players in the matchday squad today, says Lisa. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have seen Joel Ndala in the matchday squad today. I think he would have been a good inclusion. Mohamed Sissoko, I think it is. He could have been in there as well. But Pep Guardiola just decides that Hamilton and Wright are the only 2 youngsters in there today. And if needed, then Rodri or someone could come on if Manchester City aren't going to go through. Pep always takes the FA Cup very, very seriously. Very seriously. And that is why he's gone with that team, which I can understand, Pep Guardiola. And Oscar Bobby's a first-team player now. A first-team player. I don't expect the Etihad to be full today. I do not expect it to be full today. Of course, I could be at the game, but I'm not. I am here, so I didn't go to this FA Cup fixture as well. We'll have to see if it's an exciting one, and I've missed out maybe doing the commentary instead. I think it will be a good game. I think there's surely going to be goals in today's game, isn't there? And like Lisa said, maybe a few more younger players could have been a real good inclusion for Pep Guardiola. I think Joel Ndala, maybe a Kane Taylor, but I think the youth side did play today. Whether Ndala started in that one, I don't know. I think Joel Ndala, unfortunately, is going to be, despite one of those exciting players in the youth system, is going to be one of those that Manchester City sell. I don't think Pep Guardiola will give him his chance. And he will be sold. I don't think he has maybe the qualities Pep Guardiola wants, which is a big shame because he looks a real quality player, Joel Ndala. I've been very much impressed by him whenever I've seen him play. He was brilliant for the England under-17s or the under-18s in the World Cup, and that shows how much quality he does have. He's a bit of a Wilfried Zaha type player, Joel Ndala. Now, Jacob Wright is described as a sort of holding midfielder, central midfielder with a good passing range, who is very tidy. And I hope that he plays very well today, Jacob Wright, if he does get on and play a bit of football. We're all looking to see Kevin De Bruyne play, aren't we? At least says Tony Kroos is linked with City. Yeah, he has been for quite a while. I don't see that one happening, though, in January. It looks like Calvin Phillips is going to end up staying around at Manchester City because his move to Juventus isn't going to happen. City asking for too much money. I mean, Phillips could have left in summer, and he decided against leaving in summer, Calvin Phillips. And now he's in a position where he wants to leave, but no club will pay what City are asking. So then what happens with Calvin Phillips? Does he go to Newcastle? Does he perhaps get a loan move to Fulham? Juventus seem to be out of that race there. Apparently Paris Saint-Germain had some interest in Calvin Phillips. Maybe Bayern Munich as well. Maybe a few other Premier League sides. Everton, West Ham United. We'll have to see what happens with the Calvin Phillips situation. Well, Kevin De Bruyne is at the Etihad. He's onto the bench now, KDB. And Pep Guardiola has said in his pre-match press conference that De Bruyne and Doku are on the bench and they are ready to play. That means that if we need them, they can come on today and play football. They're ready, and that is very exciting for Manchester City, isn't it? To see Kevin De Bruyne back in the side. I think we have missed Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think any Manchester City fan would deny that we've missed Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think any fan of any team will football would think so. Jacob Wright here, a couple of high fives for the young City mascots as he walked through a tunnel towards the bench there, the youngster on the bench today for Manchester City. And Ruben Diaz, who captains the side, walks out as the players are in the tunnel and ready. City wearing an interesting jacket. I think it looks like a new training jacket City are going to come out in. First sighting of a tinfoil FA Cup in the crowd there, here at the Etihad. And here we go. Right here, right now. An outcome. The two sides, Manchester City and Huddersfield. Pretty close local rivals, really. Manchester City and Huddersfield. Huddersfield not far. Not far in a journey at all. Huddersfield are led out by their captain, Hellick, who used to play for Barnsley He's a centre-back who is actually Huddersfield's top goal scorer this season. So I think with City struggling for clean sheets and struggling for defensive performances, we could see maybe Helic get a goal from a set-piece. If they do win a set-piece, that is his speciality. But other than that, Huddersfield down in 21st place in the Championship don't really offer many other sort of attacking outlets. Nichols is a pretty decent keeper as well for them. I think he's been out on loan last season in Europe. And he is back and playing for the team. Erling Haaland is there for Manchester City. Not in the matchday squad. But he's got his big black coat on there, Haaland. Big bomber jacket, maybe you'd call it, with lots of padding because it is cold at the Etihad. Stefan Ortega shakes hands, and as the Manchester City players here in the FA Cup, ready for, hopefully, an exciting FA Cup action game where we see goals and we see maybe the Manchester Cup where, you know, the opposition come in. So run through City team again. Ortega and Moreno starts in goal. It's Akanji, Captain Diaz, Vardiol and Sergio Gomez the back four. Rico Lewis and Mateo Kovacic partner in midfield two, with Bob, Foden and Jack Grealish in front, supporting Julian Alvarez at striker. City have Edison, Walker, Ake, Doku, return to side, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Matheus Nunes, Jacob Wright and Micah Hamilton on the bench for Pep Guardiola's Manchester City side. Very, very good side for City. As for Huddersfield Town, Edmonds Green is going to step into the back line. It's more of a 5-4-1 from them. Nichols starts in goal with Jackson, Lees, Captain Helic, Edmonds Green and Spencer in the back five. Wiles, Matos on loan from Chelsea, just signed recently. Rudoni and Koroma on the midfield four. And it's Thomas who starts at striker up top. They've got a few options on the bench. Diarra, Edwards, Hudlin. Kyle Hudlin actually was of interest to Manchester City. Played non-league football for Stockport County. 6'9", the striker. Manchester City did show some interest in him, believe it or not. In the end, he made this move to Huddersfield in the Championship. Handshake for Pep Guardiola and Darren Moore, as Manchester City are ready for kick-off here in the Emirates FA Cup. I think Darren Moore is asking for some tactical advice from Pep Guardiola after the game. So City in the sky blue. The opposition, are they in the green kit? I assume they're in the Huddersfield green, but it might be different. Well, I believe Danny Murphy's on commentary if you're watching on the BBC, so definitely mute that and put me on it. You can time up your clock with mine so that you are perfectly in time with the game. If you're watching on live TV, you can pause it. Huddersfield have gone with the black kit today, actually, not the bright green one. Well, that's fine. They very much really focus on their number 14, who they consider their key man. But like I said, their key man for Huddersfield is Helic, the centre-back, who is their top goal scorer, with 7 goals in all competitions so far from centre-back. And I think they've all come from set pieces. So here we go. Manchester City versus Huddersfield. Referee has the teams ready. No VAR in play in the FA Cup, which is great to see. And the game is underway here. Manchester City versus Huddersfield. Here we go at the Etihad. Big roar from the City fans and the Huddersfield fans. Oscar on that right side for City today. Exciting to see him play. He was fantastic when he came on the other day in Sheffield. Pressing from Sergio Gomez. Forces Huddersfield back, who play a long ball forward. Read by Vardiol. Knock on here. Huddersfield are in behind City straight away. What a start for Huddersfield. Thomas on his far right hand side. Cross comes in. Ruben Diaz heads it away. Oscar Bob misses his clearance. Well, a lively start from Huddersfield. Bob here. Beaten by the number 30, the fullback. Cross it in again. Diaz cross it away. Lively start by Huddersfield. Followed by Matos and Manu Akanji slice it away. Alvarez back down to Huddersfield. What a start by them. Good run, really lively start by Huddersfield for City to deal with. Left-footed cross comes in, blocked by Oscar Bob. Back out. Spencer Green here. Moves it across here to the far right-hand side. Lees, who's on the right side of the fence, and Edmonds Green on the left. Back to Lees, but a nice confident start from Huddersfield. Fair play. Thinking they get at Manchester City and cause us problems. Edmonds Green. Wide left to Jackson. Back into Edmonds Green again, the number 2 for Huddersfield. Alex Matos, the number 21. Hovering around in the midfield. Olays from the Huddersfield fans as they keep possession here. Nichols sends it long. Headed by Huddersfield on towards Vardiel, which is being chased down here. Joshko Vardiel all the way back towards Stefan Ortega. But a nice lively start from Huddersfield, and the fans enjoying their day out here with the Olays. Every completed pass from Huddersfield. Might be the only time they touch the ball today. Vardiel. Gomez for Manchester City. Jack Grealish. Push on Grealish here by the fullback. Back to Kovacic. Joshko Vardiel. Ruben Diaz in the centre circle. Brings it forward for Manchester City. Diaz. Far right to Manu Akanji, who plays on the right hand side of the back three today. Oscar Bob. Manu Akanji again. Ruben Diaz. Joshko Vardiel. Got Jack Grealish in the far left-hand channel space there, and he finds Jack Grealish here. Grealish skips inside. Grealish. Back out to Diaz. Manu Akanji. Leaves it for Oscar Bob on the far right-hand side. Bob. Bob into Akanji. City work it down the right-hand side and move the ball from left to right. Joshko Vardiel. Jack Grealish got an overlap from Sergio Gomez here. Grealish decides against it. Into Kovacic instead. Kovacic onto Akanji. City trying to find those gaps, those holes in this Huddersfield team. Which is a very, very compact back line of 5 and 4 in front. Oscar Bob. Good run by Bob. Good challenge from the fullback. Throwing Manchester City. Sliding in the Huddersfield man as Bob flicked it past him. Looked to try and get away. Here's Manu Akanji. And back all the way to Ruben Diaz. Diaz into Vardiel. Joshko Vardiel. Bad pass. Alvarez can't get there. Huddersfield give it away to Kovacic, who skips past the challenge of Alex Matos. Two former Chelsea boys there. Bob in behind towards Rico Lewis. Rico decides against the cross. Down this right-hand side. Rico back out to Akanji. Quite away from the box here, Manchester City. Phil Foden on this right-hand side now. With Oscar Bob. Back to Foden. Ruben Diaz. City's got everyone deep in the Huddersfield half now, barring Stefan Ortega. Ruben Diaz. Wide left to Grealish once more. Grealish flicks it off to Sergio Gomez. Look to try and if he could find a pass to Grealish. Doesn't do. Back to Diaz. City build it up from the back here. Akanji. Akanji across to Diaz. Vardiel. Kovacic finding a bit of space. Vardiel wide to Jack Grealish. Grealish in behind towards Sergio Gomez. Looks to cross it off the Huddersfield man. And well defended by Lees. Avoids it going for a corner. Lovely little flick by Huddersfield here on the counter. Heavy touch though by the striker. And Phil Foden wins it back. Kovacic into Grealish here. Get running Jack Grealish. He doesn't do. Lees is there. Grealish beats him to it. Well done Jack. Back out to Sergio Gomez. That was a really good chance for Huddersfield to break. But a poor touch by their man up top, the striker. Manu Akanji. Rico Lewis. Wide right to Bob. Back to Akanji. Back into Oscar Bob again. Could go to Rico Lewis. Doesn't. Goes inside to Phil Foden. Foden. Kovacic. Manu Akanji. Oscar Bob. Akanji. Back he goes towards Ruben Diaz. City work it around the back. Pretty much all the possession right around Huddersfield's box here. Foden. On this right hand side. Back into Akanji. 1-2s by City working it well. Knocking the ball around. Trying to find that little pocket of space. See if there is a bit of a mistake by Huddersfield. If they a lapse of concentration from them. Jack Grealish on this left hand side now. Grealish. Step overs. Past Spencer. Grealish a left footed cross. Blocked by Spencer. First corner of the game. Manchester City's way. Grealish not to take it. He's going to leave it for Julian Alvarez. But Grealish going down the outside there. Not going cutting inside every single time. Trying to go down the outside. City aren't in a rush, are they, to score here, it feels like. They're just knocking it round, trying to see if Huddersfield make a mistake, find that gap. Julian Alvarez to take the corner kick for Manchester City. He goes all the way back out to Jack Grealish. Grealish back into Alvarez once more. Back out to Grealish. Have City wasted this corner? Grealish. Back out to Alvarez again. City refused to swing it in. Back to Grealish. Back to Alvarez once again by City, and who totally waste that corner. Alvarez. Alvarez shoots and down the middle. First shot of the game. Straight at Nichols, but Manchester City there with a chance to whip a ball in. 3, 4, 5 times. Both Alvarez and Grealish decided against it. So City didn't whip the cross in the end. It's just Alvarez shooting straight down the middle at Nichols. He tried to catch the keeper out. Intercepted by Kovacic brilliantly. Here's Jack Grealish, counter Manchester City. Grealish into Oscar Bob here. It's a bit of an over-it pass, but Bob will get in the end of it still. Keeps it in play down this right-hand side. Bob. Akanji. It's a shame it's a heavy pass by Grealish there. City with a chance. Kovacic wide right towards Oscar Bob. Anu Akanji again. Over to Vardiol. Spaces for Grealish. Vardiol tries a little pass through. He's give it away here, Vardiol. And a counter for Huddersfield here. A 2-on-3 Manchester City. Bursting away his wiles. And across comes Kovacic and cuts it out. Well done, Mateo Kovacic. Big interception for City there. But Vardiol trying a difficult pass. And Huddersfield nearly getting away on the counter. Manchester City have to be careful not to get caught out in those situations. Diaz. Kovacic. Here's Sergio Gomez. Inside. Onto the centre circle into Ruben Diaz. Wide right is Akanji. Options. He goes back into the centre circle. Diaz with Kovacic. And back to Diaz. Anu Akanji. Run by Rico Lewis. He goes into Oscar Bob. Into Lewis. Nice find. Lewis. Lovely feet. Back to Oscar Bob again. Nice play by City with Rico Lewis picking up those little pockets of space. Manu Akanji. The switch is onto Grealish. And he's in lots of space here. Grealish got to quicken it up. Grealish runs past his man. Grealish crosses it in here. Blocked away just by Huddersfield. Back out to Vardiol. Into Kovacic. Grealish tried to cut it back. Drove to the byline. Good defending by Huddersfield. Diaz. Foden. Kovacic. Back wide left to Grealish. Jack Grealish. In towards Alvarez. Good tackle on him. Tackled away and back to Grealish and Gomez back to Vardiol. Manchester City very much dominating possession as expected. Akanji. Oscar Bob. Bob lifts one in towards Alvarez here. Nodded away by Huddersfield. Ruben Diaz through the back of the Huddersfield man. Wins the ball with a header. The referee gives a free kick. Overzealous from Ruben Diaz there. He leans over the back of the Huddersfield man. And he heads it down to a City player, but in the end the referee thinks it's a foul. Well, Diaz went to try and win it. The Huddersfield player had no interest in actually trying to keep the ball and was just trying to win the foul, and it worked actually for the striker there. Pep Guardiola in his seat, not looking like getting up at the moment. I think he's happy where he is. Nothing that I think he's too unhappy about, nothing that he needs to tell his players that he's picked out quite yet in the opening 10 minutes. Long by Huddersfield, headed down by the striker. Well played to Spencer Green. Oscar Bob gets a foot in there, nearly wins it back. Rico Lewis can't. And Huddersfield back in possession. Here's Hellick, the captain. Clip forward, what a ball here! Huddersfield in behind, you're offside. The flag has gone up, Ortega makes the save anyway. Well, the striker for Huddersfield played in there, he just kept going. Well, VAR not in play today. So the assistant puts his flag up straight away. Is he offside? Yeah, he's quite a way offside there. The Huddersfield striker. About a yard offside. He kept going though. He thought that was his chance. He couldn't hear the referee blowing the whistle because head down and he thought he was going to score. Ortega makes a save anyway, 1-on-1, with a good chance for Huddersfield there. And that shows the weakness in City's defence that you can pick out. Many a times teams have done that this season. Diaz, Rico Lewis. Wide right to Oscar Bob. Bob. Lewis. Diaz. Kovacic. Ruben Diaz again, back to Kovacic. In towards Gomez. Vardiol. Creating lots of space in that left-hand side. Vardiol taking his time with it. Ruben Diaz for Manchester City. Kovacic. Switch out left to Grealish. Grealish finds a bit of space for himself. Back to Kovacic. Manu Akanji. Wide right to Oscar Bob. It's a very congested box. City are passing around it, trying to find space. Trying to find that option. Kovacic to Diaz. Akanji. Oscar Bob. In behind to Rico Lewis, who goes back towards Bob. No real drive to go at players there. Akanji, Bob again. Bob down his right hand side. Ruben Diaz, City now trying to work it left. Diaz. Vardiol, he's got Grealish and Sergio Gomez to the far side. Grealish. Off to Sergio Gomez here. Crossing by the Spaniard. It's blocked away. Another corner for Manchester City, second of the game now. Will City cross it in, or will they try a set-piece routine that seems to fail at the early stages as they did before? Alvarez to take it. Phil Foden with him. Do City go into the box though, or do they play it short? Short again towards Phil Foden. Back out towards Jack Grealish. Grealish still. To the edge of the box to Sergio Gomez. Wide to Oscar Bob. One-on-one with his player there, Bob, and he's lost it. Oscar Bob here. And a counter for Huddersfield now. Bob getting back. Switch of play. A lovely switch of play here by Huddersfield. Alvarez having to burst towards the far side here. Big switch of play to the striker, Thomas. Need to be a bit more central, a little bit wide. But if he got that ball right there, Huddersfield on the counter, Thomas was in one-on-one with the keeper. Luckily, it was over here. Rico Lewis, wide to Manu Akanji. Late one on Rico Lewis, who's gone down here. Akanji. Matos across to him. Takes the foot of Manu Akanji. It's a free kick, Manchester City. Alex Matos says no. Manu Akanji down with a hip injury here. Yellow card for Alex Matos. Well, he claims he didn't touch Akanji there. But he did not get the ball there, Alex Matos. Just took the ball of Manu Akanji. Took the foot of Manu Akanji completely in the leg. Let's hope he's okay here, Manu. Looks like a hip injury for Manu Akanji. That might be a problem for Manchester City here. Alex Matos with an elbow in the back of Rico Lewis, he said. That's the first foul. I think that maybe I got a yellow card from the sliding challenge on Akanji. Doesn't get the ball, Matos. Straight through Akanji, who's still down here. And it's either a near hip injury here. The yellow card for the on-loan Chelsea man, Alex Matos. I think Rico Lewis is back up after the elbow in the back of the head. But Manu Akanji is down receiving treatment. Well, let's hope Manu's going to be okay. It's a player who seems rarely injured, Manu Akanji, but he's struggling here with a knee injury now. Just seemed to stretch his knee or his hip as he was clattered into. Nathan Ake is warming up for City. It is the hip of Manu Akanji that seems to be the issue for the Swissman. Ooh! It was the awkwardness of the fall by Akanji. Matos pulls one leg away with a sliding challenge, and the left leg of Akanji, his ankle, his knee, his hip, something pulls. It's going to be a very painful one for Manu Akanji. But he's back up and limping away. Hopefully he's going to be okay here, Manu. That's a big injury for City. If Akanji's forced off, because he's quite a bit of a favourite under Pep Guardiola, isn't he? And it seems to be the knee he's holding. Left knee of Akanji that seems to be the issue. Free kick for City. Alvarez does swing this one in towards Ruben Diaz. Good defending by Huddersfield. Behind for another corner. This time, though, on the right-hand side. It was Spencer with the header away. Free kick City. Manu Akanji yet to come back on here. Alvarez or Bob could take this one. Plenty of big boys in the box for City. Diaz. Vardiol. Is Alvarez going to swing this one in? He does swing this one. It's a lofty cross here to the far post of Diaz. And straight into the hands of Nichols. And could Huddersfield counter it? Well, Nichols sprays it out wide. Lovely ball by the keeper. But a poor touch by the fullback Spencer. Very poor touch. Well, Manu Akanji's back on here. Bit of a limp for Akanji, but City giving the ball straight away. Here's Diaz. Vardiol. Ruben Diaz. Wide right to Oscar Bob. Back to Manu Akanji. Who's moving gingerly. Does not look comfortable, Akanji, but he's telling the sideline. He's made a signal that he wants a bit longer. Oscar Bob here for City. Bob, good play by Bob, wriggling around the challenges. Bob with a left-footed shot. Hits his own player, Enrico Lewis, and goes behind for a goal kick. But nice play by Bob. Wriggled away from that right-hand side. Skipped inside to his left foot. Unfortunately, his shot hits Rico Lewis on the way through. Scuffed the shot, actually, Oscar. And Manu Akanji's back down again here. And it seems to be a bit of a bad injury, perhaps, for Akanji. It's a knee injury. I think that's going to be Akanji coming off there already after 16, 17 minutes with a knee injury. We thought Nathan Ake was going to come on. But it's going to be Mateusz Nunes who comes on for City for the injured Akanji. Chris is here. Hello to Chris. Good to have you. Manu Akanji's picked up a knee injury that does not look good for the Swissman. He's tried to play on. But he's going to be forced off here. Let's hope he's not too bad. It was a real twist to the knee for Akanji. A real twist to the knee in the challenge from Alex Matos. It looks a bad injury for his left knee. He limps off here, Akanji. And I hope he's going to be okay. He's going to be replaced by Mateusz Nunes. So that's attacking from City. Who will move into the back line? I'm not quite sure. Maybe Rico Lewis goes to right back. Mateusz Nunes goes to the Rico Lewis position. So here comes Mateusz Nunes from Manchester City. Mateusz, the number 27, is on. I think Rico Lewis will go into Akanji's spot. And yep, City, Guardiola explained that's the players now. Mateusz Nunes goes into Rico Lewis' position. Rico Lewis will go into the Manu Akanji position. Headed forward by Huddersfield. Vardiol with a poor touch there. City get away with it because the man up top is offside. But Vardiol's taken a few poor touches today already. A few poor headers, a few poor touches. City nearly been caught out with a few times for it. Vardiol. Diaz. City playing very much a back two now with Rico Lewis and Sergio Gomez looking forward. Here is Kovacic. Vardiol. Jack Grealish drops deep to try and pick it up. Grealish. Grealish for City. A little bit of shimmy. Cuts inside. Mateusz Nunes first touches for the Portuguese man off the bench. Rico Lewis back in towards Diaz. Kovacic. Diaz. Rico Lewis in so much space on his far side. Rico Lewis and Sergio Gomez holding the width of Manchester City on either side. Kovacic to Mateusz Nunes. Wide to Rico Lewis. Mateusz Nunes. Back he goes towards Diaz. Rico Lewis again. In towards Foden. Diaz. Kovacic. Grealish is saying to switch it. Grealish. He's got Sergio Gomez to the far side here. Grealish looks inside. Grealish. Back in towards Diaz. Vardiol. Space for Sergio Gomez. Joško Vardiol wide to Sergio Gomez. But by the time we work the ball to these players in the wide areas, there's already a Huddersfield player across, so we need to move it quicker into those situations. Diaz with the ball in behind towards Grealish is a poor one from Diaz. It's all the way behind for a goal kick. City, when they move it to those wide players, which at the moment is Rico Lewis and Sergio Gomez holding the width, we've got to move it quicker. Have to move it a lot quicker because Huddersfield, their wing backs, their full backs are getting out to our wide players so easily. City have got to be quicker in that movement out wide. Goal kick for Huddersfield to be taken by Nichols. Long by the England. England. Is he English, Nichols? I think he is England. He is English. Rico Lewis has gone down here under a tackle there. Referee says no foul, play on. City have possession anyway. Joško Vardiol for City. Back to Diaz. 20 minutes on the clock here. It's not really an exciting event so far. Rico. Bob's found a little pocket of space. Mateusz Nunes turns. We're doing everything a lot too slow at the moment, Manchester City. And no wonder it's so easy for Huddersfield to defend against. Mateusz Nunes. Floor by Matos. No foul, says the referee. Alex Matos comes forward here now. Matos. Pushing forward. Matos still. Then he dives on the floor here, Matos. It's a handball, referee. Nothing given. And Rico Lewis off Matos from behind for a goal kick. Alex Matos driving forward after winning off Mateusz Nunes, who physically couldn't beat him. Then Mateusz Nunes, Alex Matos there with a massive dive. Throws himself to the ground before Mateusz Nunes got anywhere near him. Be careful with Matos because he's already on a yellow card. He could have got a second one for diving there. Rico Lewis. Rico. City again go backwards. If this is the best approach we can manage today, I think Kovacic and Foden should try a few from distance. Yeah, I think Foden certainly can shoot from distance. I don't think Kovacic can. I don't think that's in his game. Maybe Matheus Nunes, he has a few of those as well. But City are a bit slow at the moment, aren't they? I think, obviously, when we shift it to the right-hand side with Bob and Rico Lewis, the space is on the left for Sergio Gomez and Grealish. We need to move it across quicker. Maybe just a switch pass. Like now, City in this position now. Kovacic's got to switch it quicker. We don't have to go 3 or 4 plays before we get it across, which we do. And by the time it gets there, Huddersfield get across. Jack Grealish. Into Foden. Back to Grealish, given away by Phil Foden. Poor pass in a bit of space. Counter for Huddersfield, who play it into an area here for Thomas to chase. And he beats Ruben Diaz to it. He's going to try and run at Ruben Diaz here, Thomas. Nice feet. Thomas switches it. Spencer. Huddersfield end up going back. Good pressing from City. Helic forward and gives it straight back to Manchester City. That's a big mistake by Huddersfield. Had to play it out wide there. They play it back to the captain who doesn't know what to do with it. He panics on the ball. And gives it back to City. Kovacic. Diaz. Oscar Bob. Rico Lewis. Rico in towards Matheus Nunes. Diaz. Kovacic. Diaz. Wide to Rico Lewis. In behind to Oscar Bob. It's a really over it pass by Rico Lewis, who gets the weight of the pass all wrong. And straight out for a goal kick. Well, Manchester City have not been impressive at all today, have they? They're struggling to break down this Huddersfield side. City not looking at it at all. City aren't playing the way they should be. They aren't playing the way they should be. I think they've got to move the ball a lot quicker. A lot quicker if they're going to get anything from this one. Oscar Bob for City. Dealt with again. Matheus Nunes fighting. Gets a tackle in there. It's a throw-in for Huddersfield. City not looking good at all. Pep Guardiola's not happy. He's now on his feet and speaking to his City players. Throwing goes backwards. Matos. Back to Captain Helic. And they go back again, Huddersfield. Well, 25 minutes on the clock nearly now. And City yet to find a way through. Given away by Huddersfield here though to Kovacic. Matheus Nunes. Matos chases. He's looking for options. A pass. Goes wide to Sergio Gomez. Into space. Gomez. Outside the boot, passing to Diaz. Well played there to keep possession. Diaz. Bob. Rico Lewis. Wide towards Rico Lewis. In behind towards Matheus Nunes. Into the box here. It's not a bad ball. But no one was there. Nice ball in. No one. But in there. Here's Matheus Nunes for City down this right-hand side. Back to Oscar Bob. Life is difficult for City at the moment. Trying to break down this Huddersfield team. I think once that first goal goes in though, Huddersfield have got to come out a little bit then. And then City might see their chances increase. Rico Lewis into Oscar Bob. Bob back to Rico Lewis. Hardly creating a chance here, City. It's so packed, the Huddersfield box, you can't break through them. Diaz. Bob. Lewis. Back to Bob. Bob, Foden. That's better from Foden. Switched it quickly towards Grealish. Jack Grealish. Crossing with the outside of the boot by Grealish. It's really poor. It's straight into the hands. Comfortable for Nichols there. Poor from Jack Grealish. And a counter for Huddersfield. And the forward here just ends up throwing himself to the ground as he can't hold the play up. Here's Phil Foden. City come forward here. City fans ask City to go forward. Be more direct, but they go wide. Foden slows it down. Gomez. Foden. Kovacic. Nice play by City. Rico Lewis in so much space here. Lewis with the ball in. Grealish arriving. Dealt with by Spencer just. And cleared away by Spencer on as far as Sergio Gomez. Keeps on to it. Well played, Sergio Gomez. Kovacic. Manchester City turning up the pressure now, aren't they? Ruben Diaz. Wide right to Rico Lewis. Bob makes a running behind here. Heavy pass by Lewis again, but Bob controls it. Back to Rico. Diaz. Back to Rico again here. Lewis. Inside. Diaz. Kovacic. Again, City slow it down. Back to Phil Foden, his far right inside. Foden. Foden onto his left foot. Foden shoots. Blocked away. Deflects to Jack Grealish, who knocks it onto Sergio Gomez. Got plenty of space now. Gomez fires it in. Great defending by the Huddersfield midfielder. Fired across the box by Sergio Gomez. A lovely cross. It's a tap-in, really. For Gomez, or for anyone who gets anything on the end of it. Alvarez, it would be. But he just gets the head of Alvarez as the Huddersfield midfielder and put it behind for a corner. Will City actually whip a corner in here while they play it short? Julian Alvarez to take this one. Diaz, the only big man in there. Crossed into the far post. Vardy, Nichols palms it away. And the referee gives a free kick Huddersfield's way for a foul on the goalkeeper Nichols, who came out, flapped it. But apparently there's a slight nudge there from Ruben Diaz in the process. There was absolutely no touches on the keeper at all. Maybe a nudge with his leg, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. Chris has seen Radoni a few times this season. He's a very good player. Let's hope he don't play well today. But Huddersfield look actually like they're going to show something on the counter maybe every now and again. City have had a lot of possession, but Huddersfield, when they go forward, do look a little bit dangerous. Vardy. Diaz. City have got so many bodies forward along that five at the back. And the four of Huddersfield is so narrow. Rico Lewis. Diaz. Foden to Kovacic, and Kovacic wide to Grealish again. Sergio Gomez holding the width. Grealish into Gomez again. Cross again to cross the box here. Rolled in by Sergio Gomez. Foden with his arms in the air says he should have pulled it back. Gomez instead tries to go across the box towards sort of Alvarez arriving on the near post. In the end it goes into the hand of the goalkeeper Nichols. Much too easy really. He's not really been tested at all, the goalkeeper today for Huddersfield. Alex Matos. Foul by Huddersfield. Deflects off Matos. It's a throw into Manchester City. Rico Lewis takes it and down to Ruben Diaz. Joshko Vardy. City have 80% of possession so far. Dominating with the ball. It's the scoreline that matters, and so far neither side have taken advantage of that. Foden. That's better. Quick switch by Foden towards Gomez. They've got to get across quickly now. Into Jack Grealish. Grealish for City. Kovacic flicks it back over to Grealish. Falls to Phil Foden. Foden with a poor touch. Gets away with it. Back in towards Vardy. On to Diaz. Ruben Diaz to Manchester City. Oscar Bob. He's got Rico Lewis wide right. Bob. Mateusz Nunes tries to clip into the far post of Gomez. It's not a bad idea, actually. Nearly comes off. Huddersfield clear it away on as far as Kovacic. Grealish again. Kovacic. Radoni with a challenge. Kovacic does well. Radoni has been quite good in midfield for Huddersfield, really. Looks very solid. He's a big man, actually. Deceptively quite big. Mateusz Nunes. Back to Foden here. Phil Foden shoots, deflected, and into the hands of Nichols. Another simple save for the Huddersfield goalkeeper. Very easy save in the end. A really good save. Not been forced out the keeper yet. Not been forced out the keeper yet. Every save has been down the middle. And one easy to just claim, really. Long ball forward. Grealish loses the header. Kovacic gets it back. Foden back to Kovacic. Vardy. Chased by Matos, and Vardy goes back to goalkeeper Ortega. City knock it out from the back again. 5 attempts to none so far here in Manchester City's favour. Rico Lewis, Mateusz Nunes, Ruben Diaz, runners. Sergio Gomez is one of them. Diaz decides against the pass. Kovacic does get it wide to Sergio Gomez here. Here is the Spaniard. Gomez. Vardiol. Diaz. Oscar Bob here. Rico Lewis to one side. Nice ball by Bob into Foden. Back out to Rico Lewis. Can he find an option? Pulls it back. It's Ruben Diaz with a strike. Blocked away by Matos in the face. Diaz. Back out to Foden. Cross the far post here. Alvarez arriving. Huddersfield get it away. Sergio Gomez once more. Jack Grealish. Kovacic. Lovely ball into Alvarez here. Alvarez on the left foot. Blocked. Foden strike here. 1-0 Manchester City. And it's Phil Foden who ripples the net from close range. A tight angle, but Phil Foden finds the back of the net. City work it 3 or 4 times there. From one side to another, trying to break down this Huddersfield side. Eventually, it comes out to Kovacic, who goes to Grealish, back to Kovacic, a lovely reverse pass into Alvarez. Pulls it back to Foden, it deflects off Matos too. And 5 yards out, Phil Foden, on the far left-hand side of the post, smashes it in. Across the goalkeeper, I think, Nichols. It's a difficult finish, actually. But Foden pulls it off. It actually hits the goalkeeper, Nichols, on the way through. Off the shoulder of the keeper. Hit with power by Phil Foden. You can't keep it out. And Manchester City take the lead in the FA Cup here. 1-0 Manchester City lead Huddersfield. Great season Phil Foden's having. Foden's last goal came in the Club World Cup final. And he gives City the lead now in the FA Cup. Hopefully City get a few goals today and we can see maybe someone like Jacob Wright, Micah Hamilton come off the bench. Why they go here? Huddersfield. Clip forward. Ball in behind City. Ruben Diaz got to deal with it. Diaz just deals with it and into Vardiol. And over to Sergio Gomez. But City there look like they're in a bit of trouble. Gomez goes back to Ortega and City start again. Ortega into Gomez. Sergio Gomez for Manchester City. Down this left-hand side. Joshko Vardiol. Ruben Diaz for City. Wide right to Rico Lewis. Bob makes a run into the channel. Oscar Bob. Foden. Vardiol. Space for Sergio Gomez on the far side. Vardiol decides against it. Kovacic. Foden again. Foden clips her in towards Grealish in behind the Huddersfield defence. Headed away. Rodoni only gets it as far as Phil Foden. Foden back wide to Sergio Gomez. Onto Vardiol. Back to Sergio Gomez here. Alvarez. Well, Foden's running the show at the moment. Kovacic. Ruben Diaz. Oscar Bob. Rico Lewis far right. Lewis. Back out to Diaz. 34 minutes on the clock. Rico. Foden. Diaz. Kovacic. It's all Manchester City. Kovacic just switched towards Sergio Gomez. Gomez looks like he's going to go on the outside, but goes inside to Grealish. Nice switch by Grealish towards Phil Foden here. Foden for City. Foden. Lovely switch as well to Sergio Gomez. City using the space well. Gomez with a clip in here. Headed away. Foden can't stop it. Trying to make a bit of a counter here for Huddersfield. There's a foot race here by the striker with Vardiol getting across and Kovacic there as well. And Kovacic does beat Thomas to it. Vardiol just there to help out just in case. Rico Lewis. Mateusz Nunes. Foden. City on the halfway line. I mean, it's absolutely all Manchester City. Huddersfield hardly touched the ball. City knock it around, but it's how forward thinking we can be. Ball to Bob there. Rico Lewis decides against it. Foden. Another lovely switch ball out towards Sergio Gomez. Grealish in behind him. Sergio. Onto Kovacic. Kovacic back out towards Rico Lewis. Again, City with bodies in there. Rico into Mateusz Nunes. Touched by Mateusz Nunes here. Foden. Back through to Mateusz Nunes. Mateusz Nunes back into Rico Lewis. Alvarez! Oh, and a goal from City! 2-0 City. Julian Alvarez sliding in, just P-rolls it in. But what a goal from Manchester City that is. Spectacular from City. Lovely play by Mateusz Nunes. Little pirouette on the edge of the box. He plays a 1-2 with Phil Foden. Mateus Nunes spins here. Into Foden. Back to Mateus Nunes, who makes a good run. And he's away. Rules it into Rico Lewis, who mistakenly shoots. Scuffs the shot into Alvarez, who's diving in with a foot. Rolls it goalwards. I mean, literally P-rolls it goalwards. But it beats Nichols. It's into the bottom corner. And Manchester City lead by 2-0. Through the legs as well, Alvarez's goal. Off the studs of the Argentinian. 2-0 Manchester City. After 37 minutes. And more goals to come, I'm sure. Very, very good goal from City. Impressive from Julian Alvarez. Who is not Erling Haaland, but he isn't half a top goal scorer, isn't he? Mateus Nunes into Alvarez. Lovely play out wide to Sergio Gomez. Heavy touch by Gomez, though, he's clattered into by the Huddersfield man. And Sergio Gomez is down. And I think the free kick has gone Huddersfield's way. Sergio Gomez, his nose is absolutely bust. Smashing challenge by Spencer on Sergio Gomez. Flies into Sergio Gomez, who's split his nose open. I think the referee has given a free kick Huddersfield's way. I don't know how. Just checking the miles per hour stats on that goal from Alvarez. 0.5 miles per hour, says Chris. It might be even less. It was an absolute P-roll or a daisy cutter. It just bobbled into the bottom corner. I don't know how the free kick has gone Huddersfield's way here. Sergio Gomez gets a heavy touch. And Spencer comes flying in. Gomez gets smashed in the face of and he gives a free kick Huddersfield's way. I don't quite understand that. Could be a second injury for Manchester City today. Have to see what's going to happen here. Could be a second injury for Manchester City. Down is Sergio Gomez with a bloody nose. Hopefully it's just a bust nose and nothing more like concussion or a neck injury or head injury. Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland are having conversations here. Jeremy Doku having a laugh as well with Erling Haaland, who's sat behind the bench here today. Nathan Ake will warm for Manchester City. He might be the man to come in at left back. Sergio Gomez under a really hefty challenge from Spencer. Somehow it's gone Huddersfield's way though. And we wait now to see what happens to Sergio Gomez, who's still not moved here. Blackpool are 2-1 up at Forest. Well, that would be a big upset, wouldn't it, in the FA Cup? The magic of the FA Cup, as they say. Sergio Gomez here with tissue shoved up his nose. I think he's going to be okay. It looks like a 50-50, really. I don't think I'd bring De Bruyne on today with some of the injury City are getting. Looks like he's going to be okay, Sergio Gomez. He's had to change his shirt due to the blood. But he does change it, the Spaniard. And he looks like he's going to be okay to continue, which is good to see. Well, it looks like he might have got a black eye from that one, Sergio Gomez. It's already started to swell. Ball in behind to Radoni here. Ooh, nearly a mistake by Mateus Nunes. Luckily, from the free kick, the bounce and they caught City out. Luckily, it falls through to Ortega. Well, Sergio Gomez wants to come straight back on. He seems to be okay. He does look like a bit of a swelling under his eye as well. Ruben Diaz for City. Joshko Vardial making Gomez wait before he can come on. And on he comes now, the Spaniard. Applause from the City fans. Back on the field now, the young Spaniard. Here is Kovacic. Grealish. Once the nose is reset, Cummins can join and Kovacic on the doors at Moston Working Men's Club. Yeah. Kovacic, he looks like he'd beat you up, doesn't he? He does look that sort of person. I wouldn't like to fight with him. Here's Sergio Gomez, who's pulled the tissue out of his nose now and it's in his hand as his nose continues to bleed, and then I wonder if he'll put it back in. Vardiol. Back to Ruben Diaz. Options out wide, right for City. Foden. Foden inside. Phil Foden. Kovacic. Grealish. Grealish still. Back up to Sergio Gomez, who continues to hold his nose packing in his left hand. Grealish. Works it wide to Oscar Bob. Opportunity for Bob here. Bob wide right towards Rico Lewis. Matheus Nunes. Rico. Diaz. City moving it well. Foden. Nice play by City. Play out of the press there from Huddersfield. But everything is around Huddersfield's box. Vardiol into Alvarez. Bad ball by Vardiol. Foden played a bit of a late pass and Vardiol had to do his best to get on the end of it. I think he should have tried to work it wide, but maybe it would have been intercepted and Huddersfield would have had a 2-on-1 counter-attack on Ruben Diaz. So in the end, Vardiol made the right choice just to try and force it through. And it rolls all the way through to goalkeeper Nichols. Nichols to take this one. Goalkeeper taking his time with it. Eventually rolls it out and kicks it out long for Vardiol to head it forward. Grealish against Spencer. Spencer comes through the back of him. Kovacic picks up the loose ball. Goes back to Stefan Ortega and Manchester City. Start again here. Here is Joshua Vardiol. Ruben Diaz for City. Kevin De Bruyne shown on the bench for Jeremy Doku. Could they get an appearance today? Could they get back in the side? Rico Lewis, nice ball to Matheus Nunes here. Tries to back it back through towards Oscar Bobby. Can't do. Alex Matos gets there. Huddersfield look to clear it. Good pressing by Matheus Nunes. He's out for a goal kick, but he's making sure Huddersfield have no chance of going forward. Foden's running the show at the moment. He's the key man in that midfield so far for City. Approaching half-time. I don't think there's going to be many added minutes here in the FA Cup. Maybe a few minutes. Just 1 or 2. Long ball by the goalkeeper Nichols. Matheus Nunes in there. Heads it out for a throw-in. Applause from Pep Guardiola, who's happy with that from Matheus Nunes. Getting for that one. Commanding the situation, knowing that Oscar Bob wouldn't win the header. Throwing here back to the full-back and into Nichols, who sends it long. Rodoni says to the keeper, I wanted it. In the end, Matheus Nunes takes it down the chest. City get possession back. Well done. Rico Lewis. Ruben Diaz. Grealish finding a pocket space here on this left-hand side. Grealish. Outside the boot pass by Grealish is given away. He's tried that a few times, Grealish. He's not coming off. Into Kovacic. Matheus Nunes. Back to Diaz. Into Kovacic. Kovacic to Alvarez. Julian. Here's Matheus Nunes. Into Phil Foden. Onto Rico Lewis on this far right. Rico. Foden. Matheus Nunes makes a run across the near post. Foden didn't look for the pass. Alvarez. Kovacic. 7 added minutes. Wow, I said 2 minutes. Sergio Gomez was down longer than I thought. 7 added minutes. I said 2. What do I know? Obviously nothing. Sergio Gomez and Oscar Bob's being pulled back here by midfielder for Huddersfield. It's a free kick City. Well, Bob would have gotten the end of that there after a heavy touch by Matheus Nunes. The ball ran away from him. Oscar Bob was ready to pick it up and there was a pull in the arm of him by Huddersfield's number 10. Free kick Manchester City in a good position here. Phil Foden. Alvarez over it. 7 added minutes. That's a long time for City to get through. They could get 2 here, City, in 7 minutes. I don't think they will. Set piece to be taken. Rico Lewis in the overlap. How many times has Gomez been free or making runs on the far side? No one seems to seize him. Maybe they don't trust him, Chris. I mean, he's put 2 good balls in so far. But Gomez is far on that left-hand side in space. So is Rico Lewis on the far right. And City see them, don't they? But just don't pass to them. Work it back inside, work it back inside, work it back inside. Pep Guardiola wasn't happy with City's waste of a set piece there. Cross it in and just give it away. Goal kick for Nichols to take. Long by the keeper. Down by Matheus Nunes. Well jumped up. In there again, Matheus Nunes. Footing on it. Ruben Diaz picks it up. And over to Sergio Gomez here. Takes a heavy touch under pressure. Back to Vardiol. Back to Stefan Ortega. City deal with that. Ortega. Nice switch into Rico Lewis. Brilliant from City's goalkeeper. Rico, drop of the shoulder. Takes it in field into Phil Foden. He takes a really poor first touch ahead of Alex Matas, who takes it off his toes. And won back by Phil Foden after a terrible pass by Huddersfield. Foden's got to do better in those little pockets of space. That is where we expect him to excel. The first touch there, the better first touch is needed. Luckily against the poorer quality opposition like Huddersfield, City get away with it. Grealish against Spencer. In towards Ruben Diaz. Switch of play to Sergio Gomez. Takes on the chest here, Gomez. Done well there. And the end, it's gone out of play. And behind for a throw-in. Bit of a heavy pass from Diaz. Too much for Sergio Gomez. He did well actually to get up and take it on the chest, but it wasn't enough. And Manchester City give away the ball again. Throwing for Huddersfield. I wonder what Darren Moore will have to do at half-time to change Huddersfield side. They've got to go forward more. They've got to try and get the ball. You can't play on the counter really at 2-0. Vardiol, good challenge by Joshka Vardiol. Gets the ball as clear as day. Only the Huddersfield fans and the striker up top think otherwise. Here's Kovacic. Here's Kovacic. Ruben Diaz. City, are they going to try and push for that third now? Here's Grealish. Drop of the shoulder onto his left foot, back onto the right Grealish. Good play, but then hasn't got that final ball to deliver. Gomez. Vardiol. Back to Sergio Gomez. Back to Diaz. City end up playing it backwards. Diaz. Sergio Gomez. Vardiol. Joshko Vardiol. Diaz. City don't seem to want to take risks. I can understand that at 2-0 up suppose, and they've been punished before in those situations, but if you're going to score, you need to take a little bit more of a risk in your pass. Attempt to take the risk that you don't show your quality. Pick a key pass out. Create a goal. Diaz. Foden. Diaz again. Which a play by Diaz. He's nice and in behind towards Sergio Gomez. He's got Grealish to pull it back to, which he does do. City end up going backwards again. Grealish. Kovacic. Vardiol. Back to Kovacic. Nice play by Vardiol. Kovacic. Switch of play by Kovacic over to Rico Lewis, who takes it well. Rico. No real runners from City. Oscar Bob. Diaz. Kovacic. Mateusz Nunes. He's one of those players, Mateusz Nunes, I think he's more likely to take a risk than anyone else in the team. Grealish. Over to Phil Foden here. Foden for City, driving the opposition. Foden, Rico Lewis. Lewis cross it in here, deflects. Matos can't control it. Down to Alvarez, a shot blocked by Alex Matos. Cleared away. Ruben Diaz takes it back down. City come forward again. Vardiol. Looking for that third Manchester City. Vardiol. Mateusz Nunes. Sergio Gomez. Back to Mateusz Nunes. Sends it in. What a ball towards Rico Lewis, who can't control it. Behind for a goal kick. What a ball by Mateusz Nunes. Rico Lewis in a great position. Just a decent first touch and City make it 3, perhaps. But Rico Lewis can't take the sting out of the ball over the top. And his first touch lets him down there. Good block by Matos sliding in as Alvarez looked to pull the trigger. Good game, the young Chelsea man. On loan at Huddersfield. And Manchester City look like they're going to go in 2-0 here. Not long left here. Matos tries to beat Bob to it. Bob holds him off. The throw-in for City comes off Alex Matos. An all-action midfielder, it seems like, doesn't it? He's probably, him and Rodoni, they're probably the two most impressive players in this side so far for Huddersfield. Here's Jack Grealish for City. Going at Huddersfield here. Grealish. Back to Gomez. Gomez pulls it across the box. Mateusz Nunes waiting. Oh, he takes a touch and tries to, I think, just lay it off for someone. Rico Lewis takes it down. It's going out of play there, Rico Lewis. A poor first touch by Rico. Again, Rico Lewis lets himself down with his first touch. Ends up dribbling it out of play, throwing to Huddersfield. Huddersfield will have to do something different in the second half, won't they? They're going to have to come forward. They've yet to have a single shot in Stefan Ortega, bar the one that was in an offside. And again, they play an aimless long ball over the top, and you're just gifting City possession back. You can't just keep giving City the ball back every time. That is half-time in the FA Cup then. Whistle goes. 52 minutes of football play in the end. Manchester City 2, Huddersfield 0 at half-time. Have a little break at half-time, I will myself. I will be back for the second half. But it looks like Manchester City will be coming away with a win here. Will we see Jeremy Doku or Kevin De Bruyne return? Find out, hopefully, after the break. It's Haaland, and here in career mode, City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions, City FC, our champions. Series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football.
can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. not let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it, 'cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do it all 'cause I'm feeling so good.
quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed. I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up. I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shorty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Get hit in my section at 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my puttin', put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, yo, bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trappin' out the bando, from the ceiling fan to the damn floor, tryna stack my money up. Cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
Trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
It's Haaland, and here in career mode, City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions, City FC. our champion series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football. Welcome back to second half. Manchester City versus Huddersfield. Second half is about to kick off here at the Etihad Stadium. Back on the pitch are the two sides. The players are ready. No change to either side as the second half gets underway. Manchester City 2-0 up at half time, and I'm sure will continue to go on and win this one in the end. But the big question is, will Kevin De Bruyne make his return to the side? Well, considering that Huddersfield are a little bit rough and then putting in some big challenges, Manchester City might avoid bringing on De Bruyne and Doku and bring on someone else maybe. Maybe one of the younger players. Maybe Jacob Wright should get a chance here. Diaz, wide to Rico Lewis. Back to Diaz. Vardiol for Manchester City here. Jack Grealish. Vardiol. City scored 2 in 6 minutes in the first half, which was their best period of the game where they scored the 2 goals. Other than that, they didn't play amazingly well. Kevin De Bruyne is warming up. Big round of applause from the City fans who are absolutely loving seeing Kevin De Bruyne back. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne rings around the Etihad once again. Kovacic, the deepest player here on the halfway line of the ball now. Kovacic, Phil Foden. Kovacic. Joško Vardiol. Vardiol tries the ball in behind to Sergio Gomez. It's dealt with by Spencer. Grealish back onto the end of it here with Alvarez. Alvarez keeps the move alive. Well, Jack Grealish hurt his knee here, it seems. Vardiol. Jack Grealish limps on the far side of the screen. City carry on. Rico Lewis. Phil Foden. Ball in behind towards Jack Grealish. Tries that long ball, Phil Foden. It's all the way into the hands of goalkeeper Nichols. Foden comes across to it. Long and forward and dealt with by Vardiol. Easy for City. Kovacic. Spaces are opening up here. Alvarez. Nice run away. Alvarez through to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob. Little shimmy the shoulder. Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob. Good block by the defender. Unlucky there, Bob. He thought he was about to open the score of the second half. Kovacic. Kovacic tries to cross one in. Blocked behind for a corner. Manchester City have come out of the traps here today. And this second half now. Much quicker start to the second half from City in the first one. Bob took an extra touch there. I think that with his left foot he scores, but just needed a little bit more space to shoot. City play the corner short. Bob. Foden. Foden on towards Rico Lewis. City work it back wide to Alvarez. Julian. City set piece once again is wasted. Foden. To the far post to Ruben Diaz, who can't get a header on it. And it's all the way out for a goal kick. Well, I think maybe Pep Guardiola, the set piece coach, has said that City aren't very good in terms of swinging the ball in towards a big man in the box. So they're playing it short instead. But I mean, that just tends to turn into a waste as well. Poor touch by Helik here. He's had to go back to goalkeeper Nichols, who has to slam it away. It's poor from Huddersfield. Vardiol wants the physical battle. Rodoni back forward. A ball in behind here to the striker for Huddersfield, who must be about 10 yards offside here, Thomas. I think he's nearly on top of the goalkeeper here, Thomas, when the ball's played through to him. I'd say he's about 10 yards offside. Easy. I don't think he needs looking at again. Wide to Rico Lewis. Sergio Gomez on the far side, Rico on the right. Both often left in space. Diaz. Rico Lewis. Back to Diaz. Back in towards Stefan Ortega, who's been unused today. He's not even had much of the ball to pass it around with either. Vardiol, lovely switch of play to Rico Lewis. Rico lets it bounce. Takes it well. Lewis. Vardiol. Oscar Bob. Back to Vardiol. Ruben Diaz. Joško Vardiol. Into Grealish. Bad touch by Grealish. Still tries to get his foot in there. Gives it away. Back to Nichols. Under pressure from Alvarez here. Goalkeeper swings his foot at it and puts it out for a throw-in for City. Caught by Pep Guardiola. Met by cheers by the fans. Here's Ruben Diaz. Oscar Bob for City. Bob tries to switch it to the far post here to Sergio Gomez. Lofted ball. Gomez gets there. Late one by Spencer. Gomez does well. Vardiel. Oh, Gomez went and then stopped. Well, Sergio Gomez like he's making a run there. He stops. A lovely first touch by Pep Guardiola though. Flicked it off his foot. Ultra Gamer says the fans should only have to pay half price for tickets because there's only one team worth watching in this game. Yeah, that's Manchester City. I mean, Huddersfield have hardly touched the ball. I think that Rodoni in midfield, the one with the blonde hair, looks decent. Alex Matos has certainly got a lot of running in him, but he's not really one that... I don't think he's like a Premier League top team level, but I don't know. Chelsea, he's not seen enough of him on the ball really for that. Pep is as skilled as Ultra Gamer. Yeah, he's still got it, Pep Guardiola. I don't think you lose it, do you? I don't think you lose it. Mateus Nunes, Kovacic, Diaz, Rico Lewis, Rico, Oscar Bob. Bob skips inside here. Lovely feet from Bob inside then outside. Bob then pulls it back to Phil Foden. Foot swang at it by the Huddersfield players. Just managed to keep it. Vardiel trying to win it off the forward here. Rico Lewis in there. The City get it back again. Vardiel and all the way back towards Mateus Nunes. Well, the Huddersfield forward wants a foul there. There's nothing in it at all. Not the first time he's wanted a foul today for losing the ball. Ball behind by Foden to Alvarez, who just can't beat Helik to it. Big centre-back, Helik. Got his body in the way. City couldn't get there with Julian Alvarez to get a shot off or create a chance, really. Oscar Bob is very... Once he moves the ball, Oscar Bob, the drop of the shoulder, the way he moves his body, he's a very skilled player. Long ball by Huddersfield here. Chance that Sergio Gomez needs to deal with. And he just does deal with. Vardiel turns away in front of his own box here and City get it away. Kovacic. Rico Lewis. Rico. Mateus Nunes. Diaz. Kovacic. Diaz again. Runners. Goes wide to Rico Lewis on the right hand side. Rico. Mateus Nunes tries to run at the opposition. Deflection comes back to him and to Oscar Bob into Phil Foden. Alvarez here. Kovacic. City work it further and further wide left. Wide left to Sergio Gomez now. Back into Jack Grealish. Grealish. Over to Ruben Diaz. Rico Lewis. Nice ball into Bob who takes it well here. Bob, nice first touch. Bob into the left foot. Bob still. Oscar Bob with a strike. And just puts it wide at the near post. Unlucky Oscar Bob. Brilliant play from the young Norwegian. As silky as you like. Fired into by Rico Lewis. First touch takes it away from the defender. Then you don't know where he's going to go. Inside on his left foot. He tries to slash it in at the near post, really. Just doesn't quite catch it well enough. He sliced it a little bit. But a really good bit of play from Oscar Bob for the second time here. Already in this second half. Looks a very exciting talent, Oscar Bob. Nicholl sends it long. Diaz deals with it. Rico Lewis picks it up. Oscar Bob back to Phil Foden. And back towards Ruben Diaz. Foden wants City to start again. Diaz. Mateus Nunes onto Oscar Bob here. Kovacic. Sergio Gomez looks to work it wide. Erling Haaland is having fun on the sidelines with Kitman Brandon. Vardiol. When I say having fun, they were joking together. Hope that wasn't misinterpreted. Diaz into Sergio Gomez. Sergio decides not to cross in the left foot. Back to Kovacic. Ruben Diaz again. Looking for a shot. Diaz, he ends up playing it with the outside of the boot out to Rico Lewis. Diaz. Oscar Bob again. Bob for City. Spacer Bob. Foden. Diaz. Foden. So many touches. Jack Grealish essentially now. Grealish. Wide to Sergio Gomez. But by the time it works to him, there's no space anymore. Grealish. Diaz. Ruben Diaz has had a shot there. Blocked away by Matos. And Diaz back down to Vardiol. Kovacic. Diaz. Back into Kovacic. Wide to Rico Lewis. Lovely play from City in little small spaces there. Here's Rico Lewis. Rico. Over to Mateus Nunes. Turns on it. Wide left towards Sergio Gomez. City have made 568 completed passes today to Huddersfield 79. That is some stat. Diaz. Oscar Bob. Diaz. Bob again. Into Phil Foden. Spacing behind here for Phil. Back to Bob once more. Bob. Alvarez. City working on his right hand side. Foden. Diaz. Huddersfield having to keep their concentration the best they can. As Manchester City knock it around in little triangles and little pockets of space. Kovacic. Vardiol. Wide to Mateus Nunes. Looking to drive at Spencer. Back to Vardiol. Ruben Diaz. Oscar Bob here. Down the far side comes City. Oscar Bob. Onto Rico Lewis. He tries to cross it. It's blocked away and into the hands of goalkeeper Nichols. It's not a good one. Apparently Kevin De Bruyne is coming on as well as Jeremy Doku. Well, here we go. Doku and De Bruyne. KDB is back. 81% of you guys are right. We're going to see Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. He's back and he will make his return to the side here today. Ball in behind by Huddersfield. Ortega comes out. Good sweeper, keeping by Ortega. Deals with it. Rico Lewis fouled by the number 10 for Huddersfield. Free kick Manchester City. So Doku and De Bruyne are back. And they're both going to come on here. I hope they don't get injured. Because Huddersfield have put in some rough challenges today. So Jack Grealish and Julian Alvarez will come off for Manchester City. And they will be replaced by two big names. Jeremy Doku, who is back from injury. And Kevin De Bruyne. So De Bruyne and Doku are back. Wow. What an atmosphere here. De Bruyne takes the captain's armband. City's captain is back. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne rings around the Etihad Stadium. City's number 17 is back. And let's hope he doesn't rush things, doesn't try to do too much here. Just plays his game best he can do. Here's Ortega. Ruben Diaz. I don't know who's got a striker now. Doku on the left. I think Phil Foden's gone to striker for Manchester City now. A bit of a false nine role. Here's Kovacic. Wide left to Sergio Gomez. Vardiol. Kovacic. Kovacic with the ball over top here. Won a ball to Mateus Nunes on the chest. Takes it down. Mateus Nunes onto Oscar Bob. Bob flicks it over to Kevin De Bruyne. He's in off the underside of the bar. Did Oscar Bob mean that? I don't know. Goal for Manchester City. It's Oscar Bob. What a ball by Kovacic over the top. Mateus Nunes makes the run. Controls it on the chest. He flicks it into Oscar Bob, who I think tries to flick it over the top to De Bruyne for a tap in. And it deflects in, I'm not quite sure. What a ball by Kovacic here. Mateus Nunes on the end of it. Oh, it's a big deflection on Oscar Bob's cross. I thought it was going to... Well, Oscar Bob lifts it to the far post for a tap in for De Bruyne, but it deflects in. And it's a Manchester City goal for 3-0. Good run by Mateus Nunes. Lovely touch. And Oscar Bob's lofted it to the far post for De Bruyne. And it just deflects. And in the end it goes in. And Oscar Bob, I mean, he's laughing, Oscar Bob. I think he knows he didn't mean that. But he takes it. City are 3-0 up now. City 3-0 up and in full control. Good goal for Oscar Bob. Here's Huddersfield giving it away to Mateus Nunes. Back he goes towards Diaz. Onto Rico Lewis. Rico. Guardiola's back up and giving instructions to his team again. Here's Ruben Diaz. Wide to Rico Lewis. Bob. Back out to Rico on this right-hand side. City flowing now on a ball to Kevin De Bruyne by Rico Lewis, the outside of the boot. De Bruyne can't get in the end of it. And it's behind for a goal kick. But a nice attempt by Rico and a nice run from Kevin De Bruyne. Good to see Doku back as well. Really excited to see Jeremy Doku back. He is one of those players that just gets you off your seat, doesn't he, Jeremy Doku? So exciting. Clipped out wide here by Nichols to the fullback. De Bruyne running. City trying to win it back. Sergio Gomez does win it back. Kovacic. Mateus Nunes. Should have got it. Going for that one. Ball over the top here. Ruben Diaz. Oh, mistake by Diaz. Chance for Huddersfield. Saved by Ortega. But Ruben Diaz there. Sunday League defending from Diaz. Sunday League defending from Diaz. Defending by Oscar Bob. City keep it and lumped away by Rico Lewis. But Ruben Diaz there. Sunday League defending. Beaten to it. Ortega makes a big save. He's first of the game. But what is Ruben Diaz doing? Two of the best Belgian players of all time just came on, says Ultra Gamer. Very true. Ball forward by Kovacic down to De Bruyne, down to Doku. Doku. Pull back here, Jeremy Doku, free kick Manchester City. Well, Huddersfield should have scored there. What a chance. Ball over the top. Ruben Diaz, I don't know what he's doing. I do not know what Ruben Diaz is doing. It's just a poor finish by the Huddersfield player. Right down the middle, Ortega stands strong and makes the save. But what is Ruben Diaz doing? He's been in bad form for a while now, Diaz, and that was pretty poor there from him. Substitutions for Huddersfield as well. Alex Matos comes off. Another striker comes on. Radulovic, number 9. So 2 strikers on for Huddersfield now. But I don't understand how Ruben Diaz makes such a mess of that situation there. Kovacic. Vardiol. Sergio Gomez. Jeremy Doku. Doku. In towards Ruben Diaz. Out to Mateus Nunes. Kovacic in space here. Mateus Nunes takes his time. Oscar Bob. Ruben Diaz. Mateus Nunes once more. Switch it to Joško Vardiol. It's a bit of a heavy one. Vardiol will get there and keep it in. In towards Doku. Under pressure here, Jeremy Doku. And back to Vardiol. Vardiol. Over to Ruben Diaz. Diaz down this far side. Diaz across to Rico Lewis. Rico. De Bruyne makes a run here. First cross from De Bruyne. It's behind for a corner for Manchester City to take. De Bruyne makes the run. Fired into the fullback in front of him. Corner taken quickly. Apparently the ball was rolling, says the linesman, just a little bit. And he's going to make Kevin De Bruyne take it again here. 6 corners to Huddersfield's nil. They've had 1 chance, Huddersfield, and that was a wonderful chance they've just had there. But Stefan Ortega stood strong and saved after a big mistake from Ruben Diaz at the back. De Bruyne to take this one. Swung in by De Bruyne. Diaz is in there! Dealt with by Huddersfield. Back out to Jeremy Doku. Doku. Skips past the defender. Doku with a cross in, and Radoni gets there. Kovacic to try and press, and Radoni with the ball in behind here. Phil Foden doing a bit of defending against the forward here. Phil Foden well played, and back to Stefan Ortega. And quickly into Rico Lewis. Good play from Phil Foden there. Doing a bit of defensive action when he needs to. Did very well. Rico Lewis. Foden ran right in position. Defensive position as well. Rico Lewis. Kevin De Bruyne. What a ball by De Bruyne in behind to Oscar Bob. Nichols gets on the end of it. It's just a little bit overhit by De Bruyne. Just a little bit. Doku's the next Hazard, says Ultra Gamer. Yeah, I think he has that similar quality, doesn't he, to Eden Hazard, Jeremy Doku. To beat a player. I don't think he'll be as good as Hazard, though. I know Doku's very good, but Eden Hazard was something very different. Honestly, on his day, Eden Hazard, a very different player that I've ever seen. The way he played, the way he took it past people. On his day, I must add. And there's too many players like that, isn't there? I mean, Paul Pogba, on his day, was probably one of the best midfielders in the world, as they like to refer to him. But he wasn't, because on his day came 1 in every 15 games. Diaz. Rico Lewis. Kovacic. Doku. Rico Lewis. Into Phil Foden here. Running from Mateus Nunes. Foden. Into De Bruyne. Oh, good defending by Hellick there. Captain sliding in with the right foot. Just stops it falling to Kevin De Bruyne for the shot. And behind for a corner for Manchester City. Just got on the end of it there. Here's De Bruyne for City. Into Sergio Gomez. Kovacic lays it off for Phil Foden on the left foot. What a goal by Manchester City, 4-0. What a finish by Phil Foden. Fantastic set piece from the corner. What a finish by Foden. Edge of the box into the bottom left-hand corner. Really good finish by Phil. Really, really good finish by Phil. From the corner, ruled in. Kovacic with a little back heel. It was Bob to De Bruyne. Into Sergio Gomez. Onto Kovacic, who back heels it brilliantly. And Phil Foden from the edge of the box here. Just around the middle of it. Just slightly to the right. Onto this little flick by Kovacic on the back heel. And he rolls it into the bottom corner, Phil Foden, with power. Great finish by Phil Foden. 4-0 Manchester City. And it's 2 for Phil Foden today, who's on for a hat-trick now, City's number 47. Brilliant goal from Phil Foden. Absolutely brilliant goal from Phil Foden. 11 goals now in all competitions with these two today by Phil Foden. Rico Lewis. Here is Ruben Diaz. Matheus Nunes, well played. Rico Lewis. Kovacic. Phil Foden. Rico Lewis, who is the deepest back at the moment. Ruben Diaz has gone into sort of the right back position. Diaz. Foden. Into Matheus Nunes. Back to Rico Lewis. Rico. Wide right to Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne. Takes his time here, Kev. Back to Rico Lewis. Diaz. Well, they're trying to press us a little bit more, Huddersfield, now. They're trying to sit close City down quicker on the ball, not be as deep. But that is opening space as well. Bob. Space for De Bruyne. He's in behind it. De Bruyne, the ball into Phil Foden. Tries to flick it on. Cleared away straight back to Kevin De Bruyne. KDB. Can't thread it through De Bruyne. Huddersfield get it well away with Rodoni. Giving away to Oscar Bob, who's pressing well. Bob, well played. Kovacic. Foden. Foden. Bob. Back to Foden. Back out to Kevin De Bruyne here. Here's Jeremy Doku, who's on the right-hand side here. Doku, couple of step-overs. Doku past his man. Back to Phil Foden. Good defending by Huddersfield, but Jeremy Doku, electric as ever. Double step over, and he's gone. De Bruyne here. De Bruyne shoots to the left foot, just over the bar by Kevin De Bruyne. Nice attempt by City's Belgian on his return there, the captain. Left foot, right foot, doesn't matter to KDB. And he lines it up on the left foot here and just puts it over the bar. But great play by Doku down the right side, beating his man. Cuts it back to Phil Foden, who was waiting there for the hat-trick. Huddersfield get across and defend it away. And then it's out to Kevin De Bruyne, who from a long way out tries to bend one with the left foot into the top left-hand corner. And it's not far away. About 5 yards over the crossbar, but he knows he can do them, De Bruyne. He knows he can hit them. Huddersfield doing quite well. They're only losing 4-0 to Ultra Game. Yeah, I mean, not too bad. I mean, how much you feel as a Huddersfield player, manager, when you're 2 or 3-0 down, and then they bring on Doku and De Bruyne. You think, come on now. It's not fair. Doku. Lovely feet from Doku. Back to Diaz, and City go back in again here. I like Doku's game. If he only runs in the final third. We don't want him to run unless he's in the final third. I'll take it for City. Joshua Vardiol. Sergio Gomez. Drive from the Spaniard here. Into Jeremy Doku. Doku back towards Vardiol. I mean, Doku and De Bruyne, it's two of your top players, aren't they, really? Doku's made a massive impact at City because he's just something so different to we've got in those wide areas. Ruben Diaz. Switch of play to Sergio Gomez. A good run by Doku. Creates the space for Gomez. Into Doku. Tries to roll it back through to Gomez, who slips. He gets back up and gets his foot in there. Thomas here. Won back by Kovacic. And Doku goes back towards Vardiol. Here's Diaz. Bad pass by Diaz. Really bad pass by Ruben Diaz. Sloppy from City's defender. Well done, Vardiol. Defends it initially, but it still falls wide to Thompson here. Counter for Huddersfield. He might get a goal. Swung in. Vardiol away at the near post. Back out to Thompson. Another swing in and into the hands of Stefan Ortega Moreno. But Ruben Diaz again there. Too sloppy from Diaz. Very sloppy from Diaz. Rico Lewis. I don't understand why Diaz is so sloppy at the moment. I mean, the chance they had before where they had a shot and goal. I mean, what he's doing against Thompson, I don't know. I have no idea what Diaz is thinking. I think he thinks he's going to hold him off, but he never is. Kovacic. Kevin De Bruyne on this left-hand side now. Kovacic. Vardiol. Go wide to Rico Lewis. Oscar Bob. Mateus Nunes. Back out towards Ruben Diaz. Diaz for City. Diaz. Nunes. Diaz again. City working on the right hand side. De Bruyne, a little short pass into Oscar Bob here. Bob flicks one through to Rico Lewis, who fires one to the far post. It's out for a goal kick. Rico Lewis, the poor cross there. Usually better than that, Rico. Just couldn't get the cross in how he wanted it, Rico Lewis, and it's behind for a goal kick. Fired it way too heavy. I think he's aiming for Doku at the far post, actually. I think that's what he's trying to do. Well, Huddersfield, well, all they want to do is stay up, don't they? That's all they want to do, stay up. They've got a big test for Huddersfield, actually. Big test for them. Sergio Gomez, Doku, ball into De Bruyne, which is heavy off the chest of De Bruyne. It was a heavy pass by Doku. Oh, City are in trouble again here. Is Huddersfield coming forward and well cut out by Joško Vardiol. Into Jeremy Doku. He's fouled here, Doku, free kick Manchester City. You just cannot get the ball off Jeremy Doku, can you, most of the time? Quick feet, brilliant. City wide to Rico Lewis, who's got acres of space down this right-hand side now. Rico takes his time back towards Mateus Nunes. De Bruyne. Through to Mateus Nunes and lucky. Rodoni intercepts it. A little 1-2 with his forward here. Huddersfield go back rather than forward. Back to goalkeeper Nichols. Nichols sends it long on the right foot. Ruben Diaz wins the header easily. Straight to Huddersfield. Karoma. Rodoni. Rodoni tries to beat Rico Lewis. It's a foul by Rico Lewis and a free kick Huddersfield's way. Good play by Rodoni there. He's actually impressed me. Rodoni. He's played very well. He's not like a superstar. How old is Jack Rodoni? I think interested to see how old he is, actually. He is an English professional footballer. He's only 22, Rodoni, so maybe we see him move to a bigger Premier League side in the future. Crossing here by Huddersfield. Sergio Gomez lumps it away. Could have been a bit more composed that one. Doku gets on the end of it. Doku for City. Doku into Kovacic. Good ball. Kovacic lets it run. He shouldn't have done. Vardiol. Bit of defending for him to do here. With Huddersfield, Kovacic, good foot in. Oscar Bob. Well played, Bob. Foden, De Bruyne. Space for City. Mateus Nunes is making a run here. Kevin De Bruyne for City. Wide to Oscar Bob. De Bruyne on the overlap. Bob. Onto De Bruyne. What a ball, De Bruyne! Doku on the volley. What a goal! 5-0 Manchester City. An assist for Kevin De Bruyne. And a goal for Jeremy Doku. What a way to pass by Oscar Bob, by the way. And De Bruyne lifts it in. And Jeremy Doku stood in the box, volleys it in the back of the net for 5-0. That's a brilliant goal from City. Absolutely brilliant. Well worked here. Oscar Bob starts it off. Flicks it into Foden. Onto Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne could play the initial ball through to Mateus Nunes. He's bursting through the middle. But he slows it down and works it wide right to Oscar Bob, who on the overlap plays it back to De Bruyne, who's onside, miles onside. What a way to pass by Oscar Bob. And De Bruyne lifts it to Doku. And on the volley, what a finish by Doku as well, by the way. Bob, De Bruyne and Doku, that is absolutely spectacular. What a finish by Doku. What a finish by Doku. What an assist by De Bruyne. And the weight of pass by Oscar Bob, who could have got that all wrong. The perfect way to pass on the left foot to Kevin De Bruyne. Absolutely perfect pass by Bob. 3 really, really impressive touches there from Bob, De Bruyne and Jeremy Doku. First time volleys it into the back of the net. Manchester City 5, Huddersfield 0. First assist for Kevin De Bruyne on his way back. Goal started with Kovacic winning it back so well, says Chris. Yeah, mustn't forget that as well. Kovacic in for a tackle, wins it back. Kovacic had a good game today. And speaking of Kovacic, off he comes. So off comes Mateo Kovacic. And making his debut is Manchester City's number 56, Jacob Wright. So England under-19 international Jacob Wright makes his Manchester City debut. And off coming City's number 47, Phil Foden, to replace by another City young boy. Michael Hamilton comes on, the number 92. So Hamilton and Wright are on. 2 youngsters making their City appearances. And it shows if you work hard in this City youth system, if you impress Pep Guardiola in training, you'll play well. Ian Wright's son is on the pitch as Ultra Gamer. Ian Wright's son? That's Sean Wright-Phillips. Here's De Bruyne into Doku. He can't get to that one, Jeremy Doku, and a sliding challenge gets it away on as far as Diaz. De Bruyne. Back to Rico Lewis. Here's Rico for City. Lewis. De Bruyne. Lewis. Diaz. Matheus Nunes. In towards Vardiol. Wide left towards Sergio Gomez. Vardiol. Diaz. Wide to Rico Lewis. De Bruyne. Rico. Diaz. No touches yet for Jacob Wright and Michael Hamilton. Oscar Bob's gone to striker now. Wide right they go towards Hamilton, who's off his right hand side. Hamilton. Rico Lewis. Diaz. Here's first touches for young Jacob Wright. Onto Vardiol. Jeremy Doku. Doku back towards Vardiol. Ruben Diaz for Manchester City. Rico Lewis. Diaz. Jacob Wright. Good ball in towards Matheus Nunes. Well found. Doku. Jeremy Doku wants a one-on-one situation. Can't find it. Back to Sergio Gomez. In towards Ruben Diaz. Diaz. Rico Lewis. Ball in behind to Hamilton. What a ball is Michael Hamilton here. Options in the box. Hamilton crossing to Oscar Bob. Good defending by Hellick. Michael Hamilton played in with a nice ball by Rico Lewis. Tries to whip it in towards Rico. Just can't find him. Good touch by Hamilton and lucky not to find Oscar Bob in the middle. Kevin De Bruyne to take this corner here. Short to Hamilton. Hamilton. Back to De Bruyne. Left-footed whipping by De Bruyne. Body's in there. Radoni away. Sergio Gomez! And tips over the bar by Nichols and behind for a corner. Nice strike from Sergio Gomez. Testing. Stinging the palms of goalkeeper Nichols here. He's not in a bad game, Nichols. Conceded 5 goals, but not in a bad game. That almost went in. It did. I think it might have hit the crossbar, actually. Or maybe it would have sneaked in. Kevin De Bruyne to take the corner. Short to Jeremy Doku. Doku. Back out to Oscar Bob. De Bruyne is waiting. KDB. In behind to Sergio Gomez, who's trying a physical battle here. Good defending by Huddersfield. Another corner for Manchester City to deal with. The weight of pass to De Bruyne made it so difficult for him to stop Sergio Gomez to get into that. Another corner. Kevin De Bruyne over it. De Bruyne whips this one in. Header by Huddersfield away. Good tackle by Sergio Gomez and back out. Here's Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis. Slowing things down for City. Putting his studs on the ball. Sergio Gomez. Ruben Diaz. Wide to Michael Hamilton here. City's number 92. Hamilton. Hamilton. Back he goes. Ruben Diaz. Vardiol. Out towards Jacob Wright. Hamilton will get there and keep it in. And back to young Wright. Well, City's young stars in the field today. Good to see. Vardiol. Wide to Kevin De Bruyne on this left-hand side. De Bruyne. On to Jeremy Doku. He wants to get going here, Doku. Skips past a few challenges. Bob. Bob back to De Bruyne, no. Slows it down. Into De Bruyne. In behind to Doku here. Doku across the box, the far post over Hamilton, unfortunately. A little heavy one from Jeremy Doku. He's frustrated with himself there. Got in a good position. Tried to, with the left foot, flick it into the far post. Just a bit too much in it to Michael Hamilton, who was at the far post. Change for Huddersfield, the number 10. Karoma, off comes Karoma here. Who's hardly touched the ball today. Hardly touched the ball for Huddersfield Town. And he's replaced by Diarra, their number 11. On comes Diarra for Huddersfield. Not going to make much of an impact, is it? I don't think for them. By the way, Patrick Bamford, go and check out Patrick Bamford's goal for Leeds. It is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible goal. Oh, Radoni here. A lovely ball by Radoni in behind, but it's overhit. And Stefan Ortega. Sweeper keeper gets there. Radoni. Great chance. Just had to do a better way to pass behind Sergio Gomez, but way too heavy. Straight through to Ortega. Karam was on the pitch, but he wasn't playing until Ultra Game. He hardly touched the ball, did it? I think he made a few fouls, maybe. That's about all he did. Diaz. Hamilton. Lewis. Diaz. Kevin De Bruyne. Falling behind here towards Hamilton, and a good interception by the defender. And out for a throw-in. Jackson clears it away, slides it away. Back out to Rico Lewis. Ruben Diaz. De Bruyne in this far side here. De Bruyne looks to cross it. Skips inside. De Bruyne, brilliant. De Bruyne into Bob. Just can't find a way through. Defending to do for them. Lumped away by Huddersfield. Out for another throw-in for City. Quick throw into Jacob Wright. Rico Lewis. Oscar Bob in behind to Hamilton. Hamilton keeps it. Back out to Bob. Mateusz Nunes. Diaz. Right. Vardiol. Back into Diaz again. Back out wide. Mateusz Nunes. Michael Hamilton. Nunes again. De Bruyne. Hamilton. Nice little flick on Hamilton. Rolls it into Oscar Bob here. Bob. Bob. Lovely feet by Bob down the box. No penalty. Lovely feet by Oscar Bob. Is that not a penalty? Apparently there is VAR, so they will check it. I think he gets bundled into Bob here. Lovely feet. I think it's a push in the back and his touch just lets him go. That's not a pen, Ultra Gamer says, yeah, quite right. Not a penalty. Vardiol into Diaz, well played, City. Kevin is class and probably still a bit rusty, says Andrew. Yeah, I mean, he's still playing so well. So well, isn't he, like you said? It's still his first game back. Here's Jacob Wright. Ruben Diaz. Wide to Rico Lewis. Oscar Bob. Heavy one by Bob. Back to Diaz. On towards Joško Vardiol. Here's Mateusz Nunes. Diaz. City have space in the far side with Rico Lewis. Right, trying to make an angle to pass. Into Sergio Gomez. Phil Foden's going to get man of the match, I think. Like that, Bob didn't get all dramatic and scream for a pen, says Chris. Yeah, he didn't, did it? He tried his best. He lost his balance. He looked at the ref and said, did he push me or not? The ref says no. He gets back up and plays on Oscar Bob. I think he's a really good player. So good. His feet are so good as well. The way he dribbled around all the players there as well. Here's Rico Lewis. Oscar Bob. Hamilton. Mateusz Nunes. Sergio Gomez. Into Oscar Bob. Lovely turn by Bob again. Unlucky. Nice idea. We had De Bruyne on the far left-hand side as well, waiting for the ball to come over to him, which he didn't do. 84 minutes on the clock now here at the Etihad. Don't know how much added time there'll be. I don't think much, really. But Huddersfield have been torn apart here by City. We're 5-0 up, so it doesn't really matter when we get a pen. Yeah, that's very true, Ultra Gamer. I think even if we were 5-0 down or it was in a must-win game, that I wouldn't say that was a penalty. I'm not. I don't think any of us would. We're not that biased. A Liverpool fan might, a Manchester United fan might, but we certainly wouldn't. An Arsenal fan might. Matheus Nunes. Here's Ruben Dias. Diaz wide to Hamilton. It's a heavy pass. Hamilton controls it. Rico Lewis. Rico. Into Matheus Nunes. Good feet from Matheus Nunes. Fantastic. De Bruyne. Matheus Nunes. Fantastic. Into Hamilton. A couple of step overs from Hamilton and back he goes to Rico Lewis. Matheus Nunes. In behind to De Bruyne again here. De Bruyne across the box. Dealt with by Huddersfield. Picked up by Hamilton. Not away yet. Hamilton. Rico Lewis. Matheus Nunes. De Bruyne. Rico Lewis. De Bruyne. Matheus Nunes. Says he's playing it in the wide areas, in the corners. De Bruyne, great skill. De Bruyne into the box again. Hellick just gets it away. Behind for another corner. Well, De Bruyne there, a little burst of acceleration. Whips it in. He's been working very hard, apparently, Kevin De Bruyne, and getting back. Getting fit. Gomez. De Bruyne. Right on towards Rico Lewis. Rico back out to De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne and Doku will have a really good combination together. Here is Wright. Gomez, who's come to the right-hand side now. Sergio Gomez clips one in behind. I mean, I don't know who he's aiming for, Sergio Gomez there. It's a poor ball. Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Should do better there. Should do a lot better there, Sergio Gomez. Ball forward into the midfield by Huddersfield. Micah Hamilton chasing it down, working hard to try and win it back. They do work it wide here, and Thompson's got a little one-on-one with Rico Lewis here, and he skips inside here, and a ball through, and it deflects, and it could be a chance for Huddersfield, who cuts back inside. Ruben Dias, and a big save by Ortega. Won by De Bruyne, and cleared away by City. But Ruben Dias, done again then. Absolutely done again there, Ruben Dias. The striker for Huddersfield spun past him so easily. Ball in. It's the striker here. Chance for Huddersfield again. They play it for Thompson, who's a mile offside. And he is offside. But I can't believe that Diaz again. I mean, the striker sits him down completely. What do you think of Spurs signed Timo Werner? Asks Ultra Gamer. I don't think he's as bad as people made out, Timo Werner. I don't think he's as bad as people made out. I just don't think he's not going to set the world alight at Spurs. He's a good runner. And when he gets in situations, he's good. But I just don't think he's going to set the world alight at Spurs. I might be wrong. He's not a good finisher, is he? He's a striker who's not a good finisher. He's like Gabriel Jesus. He offers a lot more to his game. I understand that. But he's not a good finisher at all. Vardiol. Tommy Orpenda comes on for Huddersfield for his debut for the side, only 18 years of age. Hamilton. Matheus Nunes. De Bruyne. Back to Hamilton. Matheus Nunes again. Heavy touch, lost it. Jacob Wright. Diaz. On to Sergio Gomez. Wide to Jeremy Doku. Finds himself in a one-on-one situation here, Doku. No. 3 players constantly on Doku. They just don't know how. That's how you have to mark him. Diaz. De Bruyne's in so much space if Ruben Diaz could find him. Doku again. Doku skips past one man. In towards Wright. Matheus Nunes. Holds off the challenges here. Not a bad first touch by Matheus Nunes. The referee gives a free kick Huddersfield's way, which seems soft. Very soft. Wright can't intercept it. Hamilton will. Brilliant from Micah Hamilton. Keeps it for City. Jacob Wright. Oscar Bob. Hamilton again. Wright. Good performances from City's young lads as well here. Matheus Nunes. Wright. Wide right to Rico Lewis. Rico. He misses 50 sitters before he finally scores his ultra game. Yeah, he's a bit like Darwin Nunez, maybe Erasmus Hollian, that sort of player where they're not a clinical finisher. There's not many out there. Mateus Nugent to Rico Lewis. Good ball. Look at the space here for Wright. Flicks it onto Oscar Bob. Kevin De Bruyne is there. Oscar Bob can't work it onto him. And a foul goes Huddersfield's way. Unlucky City. Oscar Bob there, trying to get his body between the player and the ball. Work it onto De Bruyne. So close to De Bruyne. If he gets in the end of that, I think De Bruyne scores. And makes it 6-0. But he can't get there. Just can't get there. 3 added minutes in the second half now. So Manchester City will be going through to the next round of the FA Cup. 5-0 up now. Vardiel headed down. Right in there. Straight back to Huddersfield. City will want that clean sheet. Stefan Ortega certainly will. Good win back by Sergio Gomez. Well done, Mateus Nunes. Vardiel in towards Micah Hamilton. Hamilton. Doesn't rush things here, Hamilton. On to Rico Lewis. You can see the younger players trust each other. And I think a lot of the younger players, despite Rico Lewis being younger than some of the younger players playing, they're happy to pass to him. He's their base. De Bruyne into Doku. Doku. Lovely skill by Doku. Doku in towards Micah Hamilton here. Hamilton. Hamilton. Couldn't get the ball out of his feet to shoot. Hamilton still. Had to wait for a bit of support. Here's Mateus Nunes into Kevin De Bruyne. Back out by De Bruyne into Diaz. City, can they search for that 6th goal? They look like they could do it. Here's Rico Lewis. De Bruyne. Foul on Kevin De Bruyne by the Huddersfield man here. The youngster, the 18-year-old. Too tight to Kevin De Bruyne. Free kick Manchester City. Number 47, Phil Foden, is announced as man of the match today. 4th round draw tomorrow night, says Chris. Well, City will be deciding who they play. Let's hope it's an easy tie. I mean, City are the holders of this competition. FA Cup winners last year. I don't know if you remember that game. Who did City play in the final? I don't quite remember. I think we all do, don't we? The fastest goal in FA Cup history and final history. Ilkay Gundogan's volley. Kevin De Bruyne to take this one for City. Will he shoot? Will he go for goal here, Kevin De Bruyne, on his return? Well, he could shoot from here, De Bruyne. It's actually in a reasonably good position for KDB. Sergio Gomez takes it straight into the wall. Surprised De Bruyne didn't take that one. De Bruyne. Ball in behind to Doku here. Good take, Doku, heavy touch. Can't control it, unlucky. And here come Huddersfield the other way now. Good win by Jeremy Doku. Josh Vardiel goes in there. He's kicked a sliding challenge by Spencer. It's a late one. And it's going to be a yellow card for Brody Spencer here. Sliding in on Josh Vardiel and kicking him while he's on the floor here. He knew what he was doing there, Spencer. He sees Vardiel's won it, and Spencer goes in and gives him a kick on the way through. Late challenge and a yellow card there. Injured shoulder, it seems, for Joshua Vardiel. He's been quite aggressive today, Spencer. He's made quite a few fouls. That's his first yellow card. Here's Wright for Manchester City. And that is full time in the Emirates FA Cup. Manchester City come away 5-0 winners in the final of this game. 2-0 up at half-time. 3 goals in the second half. Oscar Bob, fantastic. Kevin De Bruyne returns, gets an assist. Doku returns, gets a goal. Foden was by far the start. Some of the youngsters got in the field as well. It's been great to see. So Foden with a double. Alvarez in the 37th minute. Then it was an own goal. And Jeremy Doku as well scoring. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us here. We'll be back for the next Manchester City away game, where City, I'm not sure exactly who they play, but we will be live for that one. I'm having actually a week off this week. I'm going on a little trip away, just not very far, 2-hour drive or so on for a week away in the forest area with swimming and a nice relaxing week. But the videos will still be coming out as normal on the channel. Thank you very much for joining us. Please do like the video if you haven't liked it. Please do subscribe if you are new. It's great to have you all here. I don't think anyone got 5, and I think a few predicted 4, but no predicted 5. We'll see you guys next time. It's Haaland, and here in career mode, City have won the lot. Rodri on the chance! Goal in the final by Rodri! Jude Bellingham will not be coming to Manchester City. We are Premier League champions, City FC, our champions. Series based on the World Cup with music videos, football and more. Get your official City FC merchandise. Join us as we explore historic Europe and football.